Do you chunk those chips? Do you hit them heavy? Leading edge dig in too much? Today we're going to address that. We're talking bounce. Right, we're on. Today we're talking about the bounce. We're going to be using the bounce of the golf club today. Playing little delicate pitch shots. We don't want the leading edge to dig in. We want to make sure we use the bounce. We'll discuss what the bounce is and how we can make sure the bounce is in action or interacting with the turf on every shot that we play. So yes, today we are talking bounce, how to use the bounce of the golf club to make sure that club doesn't dig in. We want to ensure that the club bruises the turf and doesn't dig in. So today is a biggie. This is important stuff today. Short game's massive, the amount of shots we play from around the green. If you look at your stats and add it all up, how many shots do we drop? How many times do we duff that chip? Which means bogey on the card. We need to work on that. We need to make sure we get the club working correctly for us. And it's a simple way in doing it. Change your grip. So change your grip is exactly what we need to do here. We need to make sure the back edge of the club strikes the ground. Victor Hovland discusses this. Right, to get all technical on you, which I'm not a huge fan of, but we'll go for it anyway. We've got extension, flexion, ulnar deviation, radial deviation, supination, pronation. But today we're going to talk about, you ready? Extension, extension, extension. So Victor Hovland changes his grip. His extension, if you grip the club with a strong grip, so if your left hand, your gloved hand of a right-handed player is turned away from the target, that puts it into extension. So you turn it away and it extends, and then you grip the club, hand on top. So that is that extension, flexion, extension. So a strong grip puts you in extension. So adopting the strong grip on the left hand, putting your left hand into extension. And then take your right hand, your non-gloved hand, and make it a weak grip. Turn it towards the target. So turn your gloved hand away from the target. So this is my normal hold on the club. I'm turning my gloved hand, this one, away from the target. And then my non-gloved hand I'm turning towards the target. So I take my normal grip. I turn gloved hand away from target. And non-gloved hand towards target. So they counterbalance each other out. Once that left hand or gloved hand is in extension and it stays there for the whole motion, which is easy to do when the right hand is created a weaker position, then at the back of the club, the left hand stays in extension, so the back of the club glides along the ground. It glides along the ground rather than digging in. If I take this wedge, the angle there between leading edge and back edge, that angle created there is the bounce angle. On this club that bounce angle is 12 degrees. Now it's the back of the golf club. This section here is what we want to strike the ground with. That's using the bounce. And Victor Hovland's extension of the left hand, ensuring it stays there by weakening the right hand, makes sure the back of the club strikes the ground. So then we start to bruise the turf and there's no chance we can dig in now. There's very little chance, in fact there is no chance that we can dig this club into the ground. Back, through. Did you hear that? Just hit the flag. The back edge of the club glides along the ground because we leave the left hand in extension. If I put both hands in extension, so if I turn left hand round and right hand round, then when I come into impact there's more chance of flipping. That's going to de-loft it, possibly lose it to the left. We don't want that. We want to keep the face square to target for these little shots. So left hand extension, left hand strong, right hand weak. Back, through, back of the club, bounce of the club, glides along the ground and we bruise the turf. Nearly hold that as well. So the back of the club, the back part of the golf club, this line here, not the leading edge, oh no. The back of the club, which sits lower than the front of the club, that's what we're getting to glide along the ground. That holding that left hand in extension or strong position by using the right hand being weak is going to encourage that to happen. Less chance of that motion. So just a little pitch shot using the bounce, left hand away from target, right hand towards target. Back of the club just nicely bruises the turf every time. Maintain that grip, step on, it just pops it up. Back of the club strikes the ground. There's no way I can take a divot here. As I say, if I'm strong with both hands, there's a chance of flipping. Too powerful, too far, too quick away. I'm not getting that nice soft landing. If I was to weaken both hands, here's my normal grip. If I take both hands and push them this way, then what that can do at impact, it can leave too much loft on the golf club because the hands are wanting to return to normal. Whereas if I've got one strong and one weak, they've neutralised it, which keeps the face square. That's really quite important, that. So maintaining the the extension on the left hand, a strong grip, by using the weakness of the right hand, that's what holds the face square and encourages the bounce to work correctly. As I say, if I was to weaken both hands and come in, there's a chance both hands want to go back to where they should be, so there's a chance too much loft's going to go on, so I'm not going to get that desired flight I'm after. So neutralise things, allow the back of the club to glide along the ground by strengthening the left hand, turning away from target, weakening the right hand, this is for a right-handed golfer obviously, and let it happen. Now it'll feel a little bit strange to begin with, but you'll feel how both hands have neutralised the hold on the golf club. I mean, little things like this, you know, little tips like this that really, they're not in a manual. But I guess as we find out about bounces as we go, the players have created ways of making the golf club work better for the player. But these little tips, they're so valuable to the golfer. And it's not really something that your golf pro teaches you. It's not really, I mean, you would never go to him and ask that question. You would never go up to your golf pro and ask, what happens if I put my left hand that way, my right hand that way? What's classed as a butterfly grip. What would happen if I did that? How on earth could I, would that help my pitching? I mean, I don't know if many people understand the answer to that or know the answer, or I suppose there's a lot of pros out there who would really discourage that. But by modern technology moving on, bounces of the golf club, it's even written on there. That's what that little number is there, 50 degrees of loft, 12 degrees of bounce. So you'll get to know whether the golf club you're using has got enough bounce on it to adopt this grip. So it all ties in together. Left hand that way, right hand that way. I've got that amount of bounce on my golf club. This is a good recipe for a very tasty cocktail. Today's drill is not about landing area. It's not about exiting left. It's not about anything we've talked about with short game in the past. It's talking about the bounce. It's preventing that chilly dip, dig into the ground, chip, pitch shot. We're trying to get the back of the club to slide along the ground. So it's all about neutralising the grip to ensure the back of the club glides along the ground, and it will do every time. Left hand strong, right hand weak. And it's the back of the club that clips the ground. You can feel it clip nicely off the surface. Every time it's the back of the club that's making contact with the ground. There's no way the leading edge can dig in. Back of the club, pops it up into the air. Wonder if I can hold one of these before we go. Pretty close. I'm trying really hard here. Victor Hovland. Oh. Here we go. Glide it into the hole. It's got a chance. Nope. Good results. Guys, there we are. I hope that helps with your short game and encourage you to have a little bit more confidence. Make sure you can use the back of the club. It's designed for that. As I mentioned, Victor Hovland and many other pros have decided, okay, the club's now designed like that, let's try and neutralise the face through impact, ensure the back of the club strikes the ground or bruises the turf to prevent that digging in. That should give you more confidence within your short game. Please leave a comment below and let me know if you think this is helpful or not, and also please subscribe to the channel. That's becoming a thing for me. I really would like more subscriptions, but I suppose all new YouTube channels would like that as well. So, but I'll keep asking, you know, just click it. It takes seconds. Thanks very much, and we'll see you in the next video.